Well, so we told you we'll be again continuing our great conversations on the subject of how we can fix Lekma now. And you know that is also a hashtag as we do this great advocacy. And we're catching up on the quest to make sure that the road, not only in front of the Lekma Hospital, but just within the whole municipality is fixed and is gaining the traction that it needs to. Now, let's do a recap of what conversations we had with the residents there. We kept having all these messages on our console that the state of the road was a concern for you, the residents, and even for those of you who necessarily may not be residing here but always ply this road. Is that true?
It has been our major concern. This thing has been seriously communicated and assembly, and we yet haven't seen any serious work being done on this road. In fact, it is a serious worry to us, and we are even getting to the nerve that if the government doesn't take care, there will be a serious demonstration, more than what they even did in Accra at Kumipreku, concerning tension on this particular road.
You mean the Kumiye and Preku? You also supported that demonstration?
In fact, I don't want to go political, but I'm telling you that if this road is not fixed, then the government should be ready for a serious demonstration.
Despite all these difficulties, all of you would have to ply it anyway. Why? Why is that?
Of course, that's where we reside.
Okay.
So no matter what you do, you have to use the road. Every 1 month, I've been going to change my shocks at my car.
And that's your car?
That's my car. Every month, I've been changing shocks. As I'm talking to you right now, my lower amp is making noise because of the...
Which amp?
My lower amp.
Lower amp?
Yeah, it's making noise, but I'm waiting when the rain finishes before I'll go and fix it. But the road here, my brother, at all. And Okoboy, last 2 weeks, we wanted to do demonstration.
If you say Okoboy, you mean the MP?
The MP wanted to do demonstration.
But I know him personally. He's a good man.
Of course, he's a good man, but how come he's not able to fix the road?
Well, you know MPs don't fix road. Don't you know that?
But he promised us that when we vote him into power, he will fix the road. Up to now, the road has not been fixed.
I find that a bit difficult. You know, MPs generally don't fix roads.
But they use this road as a campaign, and that is why we voted Okoboy to power. And up to now, he has not been able to fix the road. So who would I blame? I will not blame Kufa. Kufa didn't come here. It's Okoboy who came here to come and do campaign. That if you vote him into power, he will do the road.
It looks like our presence here has resulted to more anger, and there seems to be more agitations, especially for even passengers.
Okoboy.
It is not the fault of Okoboy, sir.
Who? It's who?
Oh, but the MP is not responsible for constructing roads.
Which MP? MP Okoboy.
The MP is not responsible for construction.
If you talk to us,
if I talk to you, say what?
You know what is road?
Why? But the MP not being the construction.
Who go do the road?
MP knows my name. It be government urban road.
We don't know government. We know Okoboy. Okoboy if you talk to us.
You people your matter hard.
I buy budget. Almost I buy budget for this road.
You buy what budget?
I get 3 cars. Man, cars boy for this road. Why I go figure money to chop?
What be your name?
Preku.
Relax.
I don't go this one. No grass.
You are also worried about the. Where does this lead us?
It leads us to the. I can say this road is 3 different routes. We get one going to the railway line. We get the middle one going to, I can say, Obo. You know Obo. Then we get the other one to the Fedic. And that place, the road is too terrible. Terrible.
But there was something you guys were telling me that you constantly, almost every week or 2 weeks or a month, you have to go to Abosokain to have your shocks. That's unbelievable. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. Recently, I go buy my shocks about, say, roughly 3 weeks now. But then when you sit inside to nearby places, you see, say it's too rough. You see, they make and that's very terrible. As my senior man tell, recently this man come to the MP come, we talk about him. If he want to, make some action, that's why is that we have closed the road. And we tell him, say, look at the road. The road is too bad for us. So he should try to do something. Well, now they start to, create the...
I'm told that he gave you a month. 24th of July is going to be when that deadline is up. You intend taking any other related action?
Yeah, what we are saying now, we are pleading that they should try to, even if you want surface that, they will do it for us. May they try to do it for us so that we'll be, going on in smoothly way, so that we will never all the time go to Apostle and buy shocks, our boat joint, and that's very bad because we buy so many. The money, even the work is not there. Look at how we got our here. It's crazy, man.
And since then, there have been some interactions with the municipal chief executive, and subsequently, the member of parliament, Dr. Okobo himself, was in the studio. Well, we'll recap some of the issues that were raised and the responses he gave.
I'd like to commend you for your remarkable, this to his, the Second Secretary of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, to commend you for your remarkable contribution towards the Ghana Beyond Aid agenda through your provision of meticulous service to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. I write to respectfully also to bring to your attention a 7.5-kilometer road under construction located in my constituency, the Ledzokuku constituency. The road contract was signed between Government of Ghana and Marlin Investment Company Limited. The contractor, after having worked on the road for about a year, demobilized and abandoned the project as a result of non-payment of certificates. The 7.5-kilometer road has not seen any works since last quarter of 2016. This road is a dual carriage road, the only road that connects Spintex Road directly to the beach road. Now, let me come to another paragraph. The very bad state of the tertiary link has turned the Lekman Hospital into a white elephant. That is avoided by both patients and doctors due to difficulty accessing the facility. Some pregnant women in the past have had their pregnancies terminated and their health put at risk by this road. Mr. P.V. Obin of blessed memory was transported to the Lekman Hospital on this road, with a journey from the point of sudden illness to the hospital taking over 45 minutes instead of the less than 10 minutes that it would have taken if the road had been constructed. Look at what I said. Mr. Executive Secretary, I have visited almost every public officer with the capacity to do something about this road, from the Minister of Roads and Highways to the Budget Director at the Ministry of Finance, the Controller and Accountant General Department, and all that. Let me just conclude. Now, this is what I said. The Ledzokuku constituency has 210,000 police stations. Over 80% of road users are in Sakumono, Nongwa, Spintex, Bachona. Over 1 million people stand to benefit or be protected if this road is fixed. I humbly appeal to your office to call an emergency meeting on the state of the tertiary link. This was 2018 April. And this, look at what I said. I said, I humbly appeal to your office to call an emergency meeting on the state of tertiary. The possible continuation or termination of the contract with Mali Investment Limited in the face of legal impediments being encountered by the contractor and the consideration of an emergency plan on the road in preparation ahead of the rainy season. This was 2018 rainy season. It has passed. Another rainy season is about to pass. So, you know what? When I met the chief of staff. That's my mother, Mrs. Freeman. She tells me, Doctor, we all know your road is important. We are giving serious attention to it. I meet the minister, he tells me, Doctor, your road is on our radar. What I see is that there are challenges that they are having. I mean, talk about the ministry. What we have to do is to find out from the ministry what these challenges are. But for me, if my people complain, look, I'm a physician. If my people vote me out because of this road, I will not be surprised.
And the concerns are still being raised in the constituency, and the residents still just plying the road without it being greatly surfaced. We know that we're within the rainy season. While it comes to an end, there's no end in sight for the rehabilitation or reconstruction of that route. We'll see how we go about it. But we would also want to have some conversations on, ideally, what should be the way we have to keep the road and the type of construction it is, and ultimately whether we have several communities across that have a replica of such roads that have been abandoned or left unconstructed. But in the meantime, many of you have again been interacting with us as we upload many of these videos and these interactions on our various social media handles. And let's straight away go to Facebook, and we have Abdurrahman Ibrahim. He will be starting our conversation for us by way of the comments many of you have been posting as part of the responses. And he says, these people complaining about the bad road, they will never vote for you if you construct that road for them. That's true nature of Ghanaians. The example is JM. He has done so many road projects for those who cried for it, but they disappointed him and betrayed him at the poll after MPP told them, you don't eat road, but forget it's not possible to get all the things you need at one time. Nat Otubo says, yeah, I'm happy because I was the one who shared my opinion in the interview by the name Nat. In fact, we still insist if the road is not fixed, we will have a second thought in the next election, because I initially changed my vote based on the bad nature of that road. Daniel Ando, how does it come in? Are they not Ghanaians? Why apply that road? It's a question he seems to be asking. And we have Erickson, Ekan McLean. But if such so-called non-citizens of Ledzokuku vote for you, you will love it. There's a question he's also asking. Today, you don't know them. Tomorrow, you will be seeking of knowing them, but it will be late. I don't know whether this is a response to the MP or one of those respondents in interactions we had. Next is Peter Nanayao Bidiako. He says, make it a first-class road and collect tolls on it to maintain and develop other areas. It's not rocket science. It's been done in all the developed countries. Abba, he adds. That exclamation is quite amusing. We have Henry Arkwright, Akoli. So do you want them to fly? You are a big failure, he seems to be saying. He continues with the same. He says, tell that man to keep mute because he's a failure. Well, so we also decided to speak to the experts and those who are involved in the industry of construction. Kofi Amwakwa-Nefi is the technical advisor to the Road Contractors Association. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
And you're joining us for us to share some interesting conversation and thoughts on the industry generally, but also particularly as we take a look at how we have to fix LECMA, and it's part of our hashtag. The road in front of the LECMA hospital and even extends way up to Manette, linking to the Spinters Road. Such a road, in the scheme of things, when it comes to construction, how important should it be itemized? How should it be given a priority?
Such road that you are talking about, a road that you are talking about, is a road that is it needs attention, and the attention is they have to redo it, because looking at the deplorable state of the road, they have to refurbish it or reconstruct it.
Now, when we had the interaction with the residents, they kept saying that even for those who were in adjoining communities who use the routes, there are times that they've witnessed within the year that it's been resurfaced with the laterite that we usually are seeing in the pictures currently. Is that what you contractors do? You tend to put the laterite there, and for what purposes?
No, the issue is that it is the government who awards contract, and he awards contract based on the money that he has or the availability of funds. The government can award a contract by asking the contractor to just put in a gravel, as you are saying. And also, he can also ask the contractor to put in a seal. Some is preliminary seal, that is the bitumen with the gravel that you see, that we call it, some people call it blacktop. So with that, based on the availability of funds, that is why the road will be awarded to.
Now, yes, you are. Now, for such a road, how do you cost it? Is it depending on the type of road that it is, and so which section of the city or area or the location that you will find it, and so that perhaps will be an inhibition or a prevention of taking action, or by the authorities taking action to have it quickly constructed? Is there a cost issue, mainly?
Come again.
is it a cost issue? And so the decision to have it reconstructed or constructed could be delayed, as we're seeing in this case?
Yes, it's a cost issue. Because if, for instance, the government is awarding, the awarding agency is awarding a contract and there is no funds to fund it, they find it difficult to award it. So such rules like this, the politicians will just instruct the awarding agency, that the engineers, that we want this road to be constructed or to be done. But the problem is how the funds will be raised. So all these things will cause a delay.
And so we've seen this delay transition into the current state of the road, affecting it invariably. And now the residents are complaining. When we had an interaction with the Member of Parliament for the area, he said that it's known that there was a contractor who had done some work on it, had not been paid. Also, on the side, had some legal issues with cost, with debt, etc. How is getting access to funding mobilization and perhaps late payments or delay payment of jobs for contractors mainly a contributory factor in contractors abandoning work and sometimes job execution for many of these roads or such roads delaying?
Yes, that is our main problem, especially with the local contractors. That is the main problem that we are facing, because a contract will be given to you and you execute the contract, but payment will take 2 years, 3 years before being effected. So such things, for instance, as you said, that the contract has been awarded to a contractor and is not paid, because most of our contractors who started with a capital has no capital at the moment, because you work and then you will not be paid for a number of years. And you know, this our job is a capital intensive. So we normally take loans from bank. So it now becomes like all the local contractors are working for bank, because you work and the interest on the bank loan will take the whole money. Sometimes before payment is being effected, then you are on that money cannot even pay the debt that you own at the bank. So it is now difficult for us to continue doing jobs while the ones that have been done has not been paid. So I think that is what is causing the whole delay.
At the end of the day, we know that this has to be tackled. What usually would be the processes by which now we know a contractor had been given, had been awarded the contract but was not able to execute it? That's a second company or a second contractor. We're even told that it's a Nigerian company. Now that the job has not been done, can the work itself be re-awarded to somebody? And what is the processes of cutting off or severing the initial contract or the award of that contract to the company that was not able to execute it? What would be the procedure usually?
The issue is, if a contract is awarded to a contractor and the contractor is not performing, it's a matter of giving him a warning. And if still he's not obliged to the warnings that you've given, then you terminate the contract. So after the terminating, you re-award it. Because if you haven't terminated the contract, you cannot award it. So you terminate it, and thereafter you re-award it.
Now, for a road that is located in Metropolitan Accra, which institution or agency will be responsible for awarding and looking at all these remedies of contract?
That is urban roads. The urban roads are in charge of the roads in the cities. So they will terminate the contract and re-award it to a different contractor.
Yesterday, when we had interaction with the Member of Parliament, he seemed to be indicating that there were challenges at the Roads Ministry. So I could draw the conclusion that it is the Roads Ministry that is now handling many of these projects. Is that true? And is that your own observation as you interact with your members?
I don't think that is the way it should go, because the fact is that we have the highways and we have urban roads. They have the way, I mean, their jurisdiction, they have highway, they also do the trunk roads, they have urban roads. So if there is a problem at the ministry, then maybe it's in terms of money to fund them.
So why should this road be prioritized, in your view, as a contractor and a technical advisor to the Road Contractors Association?
They want to privatize the road.
I'm asking, why should it be prioritized? As you are the technical advisor to the Road Contractors Association, can you share your opinion why this road, based on your own observation and estimation, it should be prioritized and be quickly done for the residents, looking at all the complaints that have been made?
Yes, since it is serving the hospital, Lakeman Hospital, you know, it's the access to the place. So it's if it's been privatized, I don't think it's the best distance for us to work on it, because all those who are let me put it this way, the outpatient, those who are applying the roads, most of them will be those who are going to the hospital. So if you are going to the hospital and let's say it's been privatized and then the toll is being put on it, and the time that it will be wasted at the toll end there will give a problem to the sick person who is going to seek medical attention. So to my opinion, I don't think it should be privatized. That road should be privatized. The government should find means to solve that problem.
Now, does it mean that the suggestions that if the complaint is, or even the observation is that we don't have enough funding to be able to put this on a swift priority list, then we can put tolls on it just because it's in front of the Lakeman Hospital? At least it will be constructed.
Yes, it will be constructed, but you see, I think you did not understand me, because the issue is that is those who apply that road will be those who are going for medical attention. For instance, if somebody, a woman is at the edge of delivery and we are taking her to a hospital, and at that point there's a lot of vehicles over there that they are trying to, that they are paying a toll to the hospital. You know, there will be a lot of congestions there. So with this, to me, I don't advise that. But I think it's only Ghana, we don't set our priorities right. That is what I've known from the politicians. Because the fact is that as this, when we were going to AFCON, they managed to get money to do that. So this thing is an important and emergency sort of thing. So at least they should find money to do it.
But we have the Akratama motorway is being told, and we still have emergency medical facilities or medical facilities that receive emergency cases at each end. There's a Lister hospital on the other side, the Legon Hospital. On the Tema end, we have the Tema General Hospital, among many others. And we still have ambulances trooping from one end to the other. And I don't think that they face such difficulties.
That road is a dual carriage road. but this one is just a single lane road. So that is, to my opinion, this is what I advise for that particular place, because this is a single lane road. I don't think it should be privatized or told to be on it for people to stand there and pay their toll.
Okay. Then what about perhaps employing the same scheme or a policy direction for other areas to ensure that, let's say, the adjoining roads, not only this one, but the ones that will be linking this major road, as well as even for other communities or constituencies, if we have to put it that way, will be put on the priority list through some form of privatization, or at least so that government can recoup some money as quickly as possible and use it for maintenance and the reconstruction and rehabilitation of other roads. What would you say to that?
After that one, then I will support it. Because if you know our roads in this country, when you travel outside, when you travel to Europe, like Britain, like this, you see most of roads that is being privatized, and then they put a toll on it. So, though if you can get people to come on board to do that, I think that is a fair idea.
You are in the industry, Mr. Kofi Amwaku-Anefi. Is it possible that we could draw funding privately or from some private consortiums and then have it invested in a road, and we'll have, by way of the amortization, some money is collected over the period to satisfy that? Is it possible?
Yes, it's possible, but you know, most of the people who put their money on roads, they do some sort of feasibility studies to know the number of vehicles that apply on that road, to see the time that they can recoup their money if they invest. So if they see that the money will keep long before, I mean, it will take time before they recoup their money, then they come out with a different sort of that million put this way. They are not. Then they are not interested again.
Okay. From the Road Contractors Association, and you being a technical advisor to that association, and also observing and looking at the sentiment that are coming from the constituents of Ledzokuku, what would be your best advice or caution?
My advice is that since there is a report here and there, the agency should award a distance for them to just give just to construct the road, and then at least put in a seal, not a preliminary seal. I think the second seal. Then that one will solve the problem.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We've been speaking to the technical advisor to the Road Contractors Association, Kofi Amwaku-Anefi. But it's all on getting the road just in front of the Lekma Hospital fixed. And as part of the conversation, if you want to be part of it, please make sure that as you give us the comments, especially on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, where usually we have live broadcasts and uploaded videos for you to make commentary, you add the hashtag #FixLekmaNow and JoyNews. Well, as you do all that, we also have to tell you that there's increasing advocacy for legalization of marijuana or weed. But we also have a latest documentary, and it's titled Weed, Love, and Law. Mama Biosa Bwaje is up next to have some great conversation on the subject. Stay with us.